Hello, my name is Grit and I'm a strange Danish girl. Now, today we're going to analyze why there is so many superhero movies. Because when I talk to my friends, they're like, wow, there's a lot of superhero movies out there. Why is there so many? There's too many. I'm sure a lot of you have heard it yourself. So we're trying to get to the bottom of why there is so many. And I will start by emphasizing that I am primarily looking at Marvel or DC superhero movies because they are the two biggest players at the markets of making superhero movies. So let's start with the first piece of the puzzle. Let's start with movie rights. Now, this should be easy, shouldn't they? I mean, DC owns the right to DC and Marvel owns the right to Marvel. Well, it's not that simple. Let's start with the easy one, DC. Now, DC has given all the movie rights to Warner Brothers. And the DC superheroes, they are like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash. There's quite a lot of them. So I promise to leave a link down below where you can have a picture, see a picture of all the superheroes. So yeah. But Marvel is not so easy because they have been bankrupt and they've been selling out properties before that. So they share their properties with a lot of companies. So let's dive into the biggest of those companies which owns the most, 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox owns the right to Fantastic Four, Elektra, Daredevil, Deadpool, um, Silver Surfer, and the X-Men. Then there is Sony Pictures. They own the right to Ghostbusters and to Spider-Man. I should shortly point out that Marvel has actually managed to the rights reverse back to Marvel for Ghost Rider, Elektra, and Daredevil. So they have managed to get back. I should also point out that Hulk actually belongs to Universal and Blade and Punisher has belonged to New Line Cinema and to Lionsgate, but they have also reversed back. Now, with all these properties out of their hands, what is actually left for Marvel? What is left is Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, and a lot more. Again, I will leave a link down below in the description box so you can see a picture. I should point out that a few of them is actually in the TV series, not in the movies. Okay, you might wonder first and foremost two things. The first of that is why is Wonder Woman and Quicksilver turning up in Avengers when you just said that X-Men belong to 20th Century Fox? Well, the deal was that any Avengers member belong to Marvel and any X-Men members belong to 20th Century Fox. And in the comics, Quicksilver and Wanda is established as Avengers members, so they share the properties to these two. Now, the second thing to wonder is that why do I keep going on and on about all these properties? Well, in that deals, Marvel had a clause saying that to keep the brand, the superhero brand that they bought, they had to renew it. So every 5 years or 7 years or 10 years, they had to put out new movies to keep the brand. So of course, every once in a while, we will simply see a movie put out to ensure that the right doesn't reverse back to Marvel. Okay, so let's take this into a wider context. Marvel has launched its MCU. It stands for Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in phases, and for each phase, they have increased the number of movies. Now, in phase 1, we had 5 years to 6 movies. That gives one current 2 movies per year. In phase 2, we had over 3 years 5 movies. So that gives 1.25 movies per year. Now we are currently in phase 3, and in phase 3 we have 10 movies over 5 years. That gives 2.5 movies per year. And part of the very crowded phase 3, you can see it's quite a lot compared to the other phases, is that Marvel made a deal with Sony Pictures to share the movie rights. Now, to make this deal happen, they had to promise Sony Pictures to help them reboot the Spider-Man character. So they had to make a movie where they cooperated of creating the movie. And that is the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, which is coming up next year. Now, that of course will be put into phase 3, so a crowded phase is going to get even more crowded with this movie. So and it's not unlikely that maybe even more movies will turn up in the future if they manage to reobtain the rights to different Marvel properties. Okay, so with all this, let's try to put it into another type of context. You see, the MCU has a lot of success for the time being, and a lot of that success is that they are making a big shared universe where a lot of characters is established in solo films, and then they slowly start to cross over into each other. Now, to do this kind of things, of course, it will require more movies. So, for example, if you have a crossover between two, you need one solo film just to establish this character, another solo film to another, and then to make a combination film. So that gives 3 movies just for 2 superheroes, and they do have a lot of superheroes in Marvel. And when a company is having success, other companies follow. So we have seen that DC has suddenly woken up. They say they can do this as well, and they are starting to launch their DCEU, which stands for DC Extended Universe. So if you count 2006 in, and if you count Suicide Squad in, which at the time being has not yet been released, they have 5 years, 11 movies coming up. That gives 2 movies per year. So that is at the same time that Marvel has upped the amount of movies to 2.5 movies per year. So, of course, with the 2 biggest players putting out a lot of movies at the same time, it is going that at least until the end of 2019, you will see a lot of superhero movies with both Marvel and DC. So, but there is one aspect which we haven't really seen on. That is the fact that the market has also grown bigger. You see, in 18th and 19th, it wasn't really seen as profitable to put out a superhero movie. If you put out a superhero movie, there was a big chance that it wouldn't even earn its money back. Yes, once in a while there came a profitable, a good superhero movie like Blade and Batman, but it was mainly seen for geeks and nerds and children. It wasn't seen something like the average moviegoer would go in and see. That changed in 2008. In 2008, there was 2 major game changers at the market at the same time in the same year. One, of course, The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was incredibly financially successful, and it was incredibly critical successful. It pulled in over $1 billion in dollars in worldwide box office. So this it clearly says that moviegoers, which normally never touch superhero movies, was in to see this movie. And at the same year, Iron Man came out, and that was a movie that a lot of people told Marvel, you can't do this movie. It won't earn this money in. No one knows it. No one wants it. And yet it came out, and it was a financial success. It was a critical success, not nearly as successful as The Dark Knight, but it was still very successful despite everyone telling them this can be done. So it opened the eyes for the normal moviegoer that superhero movies might be allowed. Maybe it was okay to go in and see these movies, not just hear your geeky neighbors speaking about these. So the market grew. So with these elements, you can start to see why. So this combined elements that companies want to earn money, a, a module created by Marvel with the solo and crossover movies is gaining, and that creates more movies. An increased number of movies from the two biggest players in the market, DC and Marvel. The fact that the market has grown is the reason that there is so many superhero movies. There is also one element I should very shortly address, and that is that because of all these elements I just mentioned, it is um, it is that once in a while you see movie coming out because which is not part of DC, not part of Marvel, because other companies step with it and say, hey, we can do this, we have Zorro, or we have Power Rangers. So they also take their shot at it because they can see others earning money at this, and maybe we could too with our brand. So this is, and of course the last element that, yeah, they have increased and they also want to retain the rights to their movie properties in the hope that they could make a new successful movie. So I hope this helped enlighten a little bit why there is so many superhero movies out there, and for those of you feeling you have too many, I am sad to say there is no sign of slowing down. But I hope you felt a bit enlightened of why there is so many superhero movies, and if you felt I glanced over something, and again, if you felt anything was left out, or just want to leave a comment for me, or want to discuss what the next topic should be in my next video, leave a comment down below. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Besides from that, I just want to wish you a continuing good day.